Hi everyone. I think we almost finished chapter 3. I think we did 3.6, but I'm going to do a video on 3.6 anyway. I thought we'd start though with just a review on chapter 3 because it's been quite a while since we've done any math, so I thought I'd do a review on it. These are handwritten notes. You can find them on the Google Classroom. Please keep in mind this is my first video as well, so I apologize if there's any editing issues, and please be kind. So we started at 3.1. 3.1 was an investigation. But then we figured out there was no time. So we did not do 3.1. We didn't really need to. Then we got to 3.2. 3.2 was looking at factored form, and all of the things we can figure out from factored form if I have my factors here. So we could find all of these things. We could find the zeros, which are the x-intercepts, the solutions, the roots. We could find the axis of symmetry, which is just an x value. We could find the optimal value, which is a max or a min value, which is a y value. So these go together. These go together to form the vertex. And remember, in grade 9, if we want to find the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0. So under a bit more context of how do we find those things, we did this in our notes, but as a quick review, if I want to find the zeros, or the x-intercepts, or the solutions, or the roots, and all those things, I get my factors, I make them equal to 0, and then I isolate for x. So I put the instructions here too. Set factor equal to 0, isolate for x, and then these are our x-intercepts. To find our axis of symmetry, we just get those x-intercepts, add them together, divide it by 2, and I get the x value. Remember, axis of symmetry is an x value of my vertex. To find the optimum value, I get that x value that I got from my axis of symmetry, put it into the equation, and then solve for y, and I'll get the optimal value. It'll be a max or min value depending on the equation. They go together to give me the vertex. And then to find the x-intercept, I just put x equal to 0 into the equation and then solve for y. So we practiced that a lot. Then for 3.3, we did factored form and graphing. And we just put all of this into motion. So this looks very daunting. But we started with this equation, let's say. So I get my factors, make them equal to 0. Isolate for x. So we get these two as our x-intercepts. Step 2, we find the axis of symmetry, we add them together, divided by 2, and I get this, negative 0.5 or negative half. To find the optimal value, I get that axis of symmetry, put it into the equation, and then solve for the y value, and we get our vertex. And then find the y-intercept, we make x equal to 0, and solve for y, and then we can have our y-intercept. So that we can graph all of these things, x-intercepts, and the axis is showing me the optimal value, gives us the vertex over here, and here's a y-intercept. So we can find all of these things from this equation, and we can make a graph from it. Or hopefully we can get the graph as well and go backwards to find the equation. So then we moved on to 3.4. 3.4 was solving quadratic equations, which was basically just find the solutions, the roots, the x-intercepts, just find them. And then we have to try and understand what it means for these word problems, what the x-intercepts mean. So think about it like if we had word problems like something hitting the ground, like if I had a soccer ball getting kicked up and then it hits the ground, that's like an x-intercept. If something hits like the surface of water, if it's like drop off a cliff or something like that, this would also be an x-intercept, so just understanding that concept. And all you really have to remember is to factor. Factor all the time. Know your special cases for factoring. Always try to common factor first as well, and then use your special cases, then just factor. And then if you can find the x-intercepts, we can apply it to these word problems. And then lastly was 3.5, which was choosing the best method. So remember in the example that we did in class, we had to find the maximum or minimum. Sorry for this error here. We had to find the maximum or minimum, which really means just finding the vertex. So choose a method to best find the vertex or the x-intercepts, because sometimes we've got to find those. And again, we're really just doing the stuff from 3.2 and 3.3. So if you can do those 5 things and apply them correctly, you can do 3.5. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to do a video for 3.6 next, and please keep checking the Google Classroom for updates. Thank you.